Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another one. So this time around, we'll be checking out HolyStone's new HS720G. The G at the end, by the way, stands for Gimbal, unlike the previous HS720E model, which standard for Electronic Image Stabilization. Anyway, let's go ahead and open it up here and check it out. Alright, so inside you get this really nice gray colored travel case that appears to be made from some sort of suede-like material, which looks really nice. Inside you have the HS720G and all of the basic accessories that come with it, like the manual, extra props, charging cable, screwdriver, etc. So looking at the HS720G, it has a similar design to its predecessor, but with a few differences which I'll go through now. First is the 4K camera. Not only does it have EIS, which is electronic image stabilization, but this time HolyStone added a 2-axis gimbal stabilizer. So this will definitely help you achieve getting those smooth, cinema-like shots without the annoying shakes in the frame that you'd get from a camera without a gimbal stabilizer on it. You can also tilt the gimbal up and down, minus 90 degrees to 0 degrees, to get those nice top-down shots. Now it doesn't have a 3rd axis, which works for stabilizing the camera when yawing to the left or right, but that's okay because that's where the EIS kicks in. So you'll still manage to get a decent looking video from it. Now another thing that's different in this new version are these right here. This time they've added 2200 kV brushless motors to it. Now they're much smaller than the ones used on the HS720E, but don't let them fool you. These little motors are very powerful and can make this thing zip through the air really fast and high speed. The 720G does have a micro SD card slot on the side of it, which accepts class 10 cards or higher with a maximum storage capacity of 128 gigabytes. On the bottom is a small optical flow camera and 2 infrared altitude sensors, but unfortunately it doesn't have the night light, which the E version has, so I'm guessing that they left it out to be able to lessen the overall weight. And speaking of weight, let's go ahead and put this thing on the scale really quick to see how fat it really is. The battery that comes with it is a 7.7 volt 2950 milliamp hour 22.71 watt hour pack, which is supposed to give you at least something close to 26 minutes of flight time per battery. You can also check the battery level by pressing the button twice, then holding down on it until you see the indicator lights go up. The unit that I have here only came with 1 battery, but you can order more batteries for it if you need to. The RC is pretty much basic. You do get a front screen that shows you all of the telemetry while you're flying, which is something that I personally prefer to have on an RC. The sticks are of course spring-loaded like most GPS camera drones in the market. Right here you have the on and off switch. This one here is to lock and unlock the motors. This one is to take off and land. The return to home. The speed settings. And the photo/video button. This wheel over here on the left is for controlling the gimbal's up and down movement. The other one has no function whatsoever. Over here on the right, you have the GPS on and off switch. On the bottom of the remote are 2 grip handles that fold out. And on the top you have 2 foldable antennas. The one on the left side is the actual working antenna, while the other on the right is not. The RC does require 2 AA batteries, which unfortunately are not included. As far as the transmission range goes, it operates under the 5 GHz frequency and is supposed to be able to reach a maximum distance of around 3,277 feet, or roughly 1,000 meters. The FPV image transmission is said to have a maximum distance of 1,640 feet, or 500 meters. So let's go ahead and take it outside to see how it performs. Alright, so I'm out here with the HolyStone 720G, and I'm going to show you guys really quick how to set it all up so that you can take off safely. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to press here on the lock button and turn on the remote. What that does is now it's waiting, as you can see these two bars here, it's waiting to bind to the drone. So now the next thing you do is you turn on the drone. And I don't know if you heard that, but there was a beep. It immediately synced to the drone. Alright, so as you can see, now you have full sync with the controller and the quad. So the next thing you want to do is you can do this directly in the app, but if you want to do it manually, you can do that as well. And what I'm going to do now is calibrate the compass. So you just press both joysticks down to the right, and you hear a beep, and this icon here blinks on and off, which signifies that it's ready to do the calibration process. So what you do first is you take the quad and you give it a whirl 3 times, I believe, or until it beeps. Now once it beeps, now you place it vertically upwards, and you do the same thing 3 times until it gives another beep. There you go. And once you see that light on, that means that the calibration has been done. So we're going to place it here. Another thing you can do is calibrate the gyroscope, and you can also do that in the app as well, which I'll show you. But what you do is you press both joysticks down to the left this time. And as you can see, it's calibrating the gyroscopes, and I believe that's it. There you go. So now it's all calibrated. Next thing you want to do here is you want to turn on the Wi-Fi, and you want to look for the address, the drone's GPS Wi-Fi address, and you can see it right there. Now it's checked, that means it's connected. Now you can go out of that and open up the Ophilia Fly app, which you can download on iOS or Google Play Store. So that's asking me, I'm going to skip that. And you can sign in if you want, or you can skip it. I'm going to act like I'm signing up, and then I'll just skip it right here. You can skip it. Now we're going to enter the device, and right away it'll give you a prompt message saying please set the app to allow the location access. Right now I'm not going to allow access. This is just a demonstration to show you how it works. And as you can see, you got full FPV feed. Alright, so now you know everything's working. So like I mentioned before, you can also calibrate the gyros via the app. And how to do that, I believe you go to here, sensor status. That is for calibrating the compass, So you press that and you do the 360 turn horizontally and vertically. So I don't see any calibration for the gyroscope here, but anyway, you can also do it again here like we did before, down to the right, and you should see, there we go, calibrating. Please wait a moment, and now it's fully calibrated. One thing you want to make sure that you have activated is your GPS. So if you switch that off, it's going to go into attitude mode or altitude mode, and you will not have GPS connection, and that will cause the drone to just like fly around all crazy. So make sure that you have the GPS on, and make sure you're also in an open area, not too close to trees. Right now I'm surrounded by a lot of trees, so that interferes with the GPS connection. So you want to make sure that you're in an open area so that you can connect to several satellites. Now, before you take off, you want to make sure that you have at least a minimum of 12 satellites. Right now, I only have, what do I have here? I think I can't see here, 8. I think it says 8. And to unlock the motors is this button here. So if I just press it like that, you'll see that the motors have been unlocked. And now I can either manually take off or press the takeoff and land button here, or I can do so in the app as well. What else here? I'm going to go through the app real quick. So here you have your security settings. You have beginner mode. I have that turned off. You have the orbit semi-diameter to set your orbit, your maximum distance, your maximum height, your lift height limit. I'll leave that off. And your return to home altitude. I'm going to put that all the way to 50 meters. I wish it could go higher, because usually where I take off, there's trees that are higher than 50 meters. So that's a bummer. Also keep in mind, when you press return to home, this thing will go to the 50 meter height. And if there's an obstacle in front, forget about it. It's going to collide right into it, so keep that in mind. That's why I recommend to fly it in an open area without any obstacles around, like trees or anything else, poles, etc. Alright, so let's go out of here. Cancel that. Here is where you see all of your video files. I've filmed some already with it. So those are photos, sorry, and here are videos. Come out of that. Keeps on asking me for location. I'm gonna cancel that out. Here is the button to switch from video to photos. So that's that. And over here you have your camera settings. You have brightness, saturation, grayscale, the effects, which are grayscale, bright, nostalgic. You have the ISO, sensitivity, and everything's basically right now set to automatic. Now if I press it, let me see. Okay, so I can press it individually. You have your daylight, shadow, cloudy, tungsten, filament lamp, and you have your incandescent lamp. So those are your white balance settings. What else? Here, okay, so here is your video size, resolution. So you have 1080p at 60 frames per second, and you have the option of 4K at 30 frames per second. 1080p at 60 frames per second is pretty good for a quad like this. Here you have your cache frames, so you can set them up, between 1 to 60 frames per second. So yeah, I'll leave that here. Here's your memory and formatting of your card. Here you have a calibration tool for calibrating the gyroscope on the gimbal, and you also have a gimbal roll adjust, which is interesting. I haven't used that, but while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and calibrate the gimbal. Alright, so that was cool. What else? Over here you have your multi-functions, or smart features, I guess. And those are follow me, point of interest, and headless mode. I rarely use any of these. I'm just the type that likes to take it up and fly around and see how the camera performs on these hobby grade quads. I'm not into all of these things, but rarely I might use a follow me or tracking feature, but that's about it. Over here on the bottom left is the map. Now I didn't give access to my location to the app right now, but once you do, you see your maps, and you'll see your location and where you are and everything. And what else? So yeah, you have also, if you go like this with your two fingers, you can zoom in and out. So that's pretty cool. And over here, I think is to, yeah, control the gimbal up and down. Or you can do that using the gimbal wheel here. Now, it's not as smooth as I would like it to be, but yeah, for a drone in its class, it's okay. Now, you can try to fiddle with it here, you know, pressing it very gently, and you might get some smooth gimbal movements. But yeah, that's basically it. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take off and show you guys what this thing can do. Alright, that's basically it for this video of the HolyStone HS720G. I personally think that it's a very capable drone with a very good camera that is able to take photos and film video at a decent resolution. The transmission is not bad for its price point, and the GPS lock was surprisingly good as well. I think that this one's great for those who are, at beginner level 2, like those who've already practiced with something like the HolyStone HS720G, which, by the way, I've done a video on that one on the channel, and you can check that out here if you're interested. Now, if that's you, then this might be an option for you to consider. I'll leave a link below for those of you who want to check it out. Anyway, that's a wrap for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do add a thumbs up to it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're interested in seeing future content on the channel. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless you all.